I just wanted to make this video for anyone who's interested in getting in the world of animation, or who is thinking of maybe pursuing animation as a career path. So I guess I'll start out by saying that the goal of this video is not to try and crush your dreams or, you know, discourage you from pursuing a career in animation. Although I must say that it is a very difficult career. It's an unpredictable career, and it's a career where, you know, a lot of times you're not sure what your next step is going to be, what your next move is going to be, or what your next job is going to be. So let me say that I am an animator. I've been doing it just for fun since I was probably like 8 years old. So I'm 28 right now, so past 20 years. But I've been doing it more professionally within maybe the past 5 to 7 years. I finished college in 2019 and it's 2025, so yeah, about 7 years now, because I started working in the field of animation when I was right out of college. Basically, I got pretty lucky with my first gig. So for my first gig, I was in the puppet department on a stop motion film called Alien Xmas, that basically one of my professors had a student who went on to be a professional in the world of puppet building, for stop motion specifically, and so he connected me because she was the lead on that project. And that's kind of how a lot of things go in the field of animation. A lot of it is like networking, who you know, what kind of connections can you make, whether through social media or through going to conferences or stuff like that, or just reaching out to people like, hey, do you need something done for you? At least lately, that's how it has been for me. Right now, I'm doing freelance, so I've been working on some projects for various companies, some medical animations, and all kinds of just some video editing, all kinds of stuff in the world of freelance. That's for another video. But basically, this is a pretty hard career because it's a very sought after career. You know, so many people love to draw, love to paint, and love to make their own characters. And the industry is really, because it's such a passion for people, there's also a really high level of standard. So a lot of times it's hard because right out of college, people will kind of expect you to work for free to get internships. I think unpaid internship, totally fine. You know, you do it for a summer, you know, in between school or whatever. But it'll kind of get to the point, especially if you're not in LA or like one of the big places, people will kind of expect you to do stuff for them for free, and companies too, because for some reason it's so undervalued, because there's such a high amount of effort and time it takes to make this stuff, and companies just want something quick that they can kind of just like shoot out to people, without realizing how many hours goes in. And that's why whenever people ask me, hey, my son wants to be an animator, or they want to work in animation or something, and I have a conversation with them, I always say, like, look, are you actually serious about this? Like, is this something that you're insanely passionate about? Because if you're not at the degree of like, it's this or nothing, then this isn't the right field for you. This isn't something you can just casually do and expect to make a living out of it. Because the the let me break it down to you like this. So like when a movie comes out or a TV show comes out, right? They do like a season, let's say it's a TV show, they do a season. So you're animating for a season of a show, right? However long that takes. Let's say it takes like a year, right? And then there's a break. And in between the series, there's time that they don't need anyone. They need the post-production, they need the pre-production. So the actual animation is it's really hard. And a lot of those studios expect you to really specialize. So they say pick an avenue that you want to do. And for me, I've noticed that I'm not a huge fan of like the big working for like big studios. I'd love to. I take the opportunity whenever I get it, obviously. But I'm not like that's for me. I feel like I have to be working on smaller projects all the time or doing outreach to other companies because it's so competitive to get those big jobs, and you have to like move across the country basically to get those jobs, which I have done. I moved to LA right out of college, and it's complicated, guys. I thought, okay, I'm gonna move out there, I'm gonna get my foot in the industry, which I did. I'm gonna get my foot in the door in the industry, then I'm just gonna keep getting work. And it's not always that simple. It doesn't always just like A, B, C, D. There's so many zigzags and so many directions that if your life is anything like me, maybe there are people out there, but I'm assuming based on my own life path that that's kind of the exception. So, man, I've done so much free work for exposure, for whatever. I don't really do that anymore. Sometimes, for like a favor for a friend or something, I'll do something, but I almost never do that anymore because you have to value yourself. If you don't value yourself, no one else is going to value you. You have to keep proving, and that's a big part of this industry is you have to constantly be creating your own work, because in between the time for the jobs, and this is why I say it's not for for the week, or not even for the week, but just for anyone who's like, oh yeah, I'll just do this for 8 hours a day and then clock in, clock out. No, it's because in between the jobs, there will be time when you have no work. You may have to even get another job. At one point in my career, I had a lot of personal stuff going on in my life too, but I just stopped animation because I was like, this is too hard. And I went and I worked construction for a while. So and then I came back and I got a big gig working on a movie that I worked on for a year, and then I got gigs at another company doing ad work, and then I started doing more freelance stuff. But the whole time it's been very unpredictable. Anytime you feel like you're comfortable, like when I was working on that movie, I worked on the movie and then the movie ends, so then it's like you have to find something else. And it's constantly searching, constantly networking. I feel like to be successful in this career, you have to be willing to be extroverted in a way, or at least willing to go out of your way to talk to people. I think that the tags introvert, extrovert, like you can limit yourself by categorizing yourself. I think I'm ambiverted. Like I need my time alone when I need it, but I also love talking to people. And I had a lot of social anxiety for a really long time. And until I kind of broke out of that, until I kind of went out and said, you know what, I'm gonna just face my fears and just consistently put myself out there, regardless if I'm anxious, if I don't feel like talking to anyone. I'm just gonna keep putting myself out there, and that's something you have to do if you want to succeed in this field. You have to just keep putting yourself out there. And that's, you just do that by, they call it like rejection therapy or exposure therapy, you know, just talking to people. You don't want to, so do it. And you'll realize it's not that scary after all. And if you fail, it doesn't matter. But I kind of got off topic a little bit there, but that's been my general consensus. It's a really, really tough, cutthroat, competitive industry. You have to kind of guard yourself, guard your work, but at the same time be open to collaboration, be open to working with other people, and be open to not working a typical schedule, you know? Be open to working more hours some days, working 12, 15 hours some days, and then not working other days, you know? And it's not easy. Yeah, some people make classes, they do whatever they can to kind of get that supplemental income to keep it going. Even people who own studios and look like they have it all together, they don't always, it's not always how it appears. So guys, that's my video on the animation industry. Like I said, I wasn't trying to make this video to discourage anyone or to push people away from pursuing this as a career. I think it's a beautiful career. I love it. I'm so glad that this is my life, my passion, my everything. But it's one of those things that it has to be, or you're not going to be able to make a life out of it. So let me know what you guys think. Take care. Bye.